it's not great. It's not always great. Digital nomad lifestyle isn't always great. I have been the digital nomad for over 10 years. I started in 2013. I really like it. I feel like that's the thing for me, but it's not always great, and that's why in this video I want to talk about the pros and cons of digital nomad lifestyle. Let's start with the pros, with the number one. It's travel. Travel is beautiful. Travel is amazing. Going and seeing all these places that you can see if you live this kind of lifestyle, if you have more freedom of traveling, it is amazing. Going and spending time in a place a month, 2 months, or at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks in one place, that's so much better, so much fulfilling than just going quickly through there as a tourist. And if you weren't a digital nomad, you wouldn't have this opportunity to go and spend time in that place. You wouldn't have that understanding of that place, and that's a very cool thing about being a digital nomad, that you can see and have a chance to see way more than if you just go on vacations. That's the number one. Number two, another thing related to traveling. When you are a digital nomad, and for example, you are spending this time in Bangkok, Thailand, for example, and you are originally from London, New York, Berlin, or I don't know, Riga, then you see, when you are in Thailand, in Bangkok, there are all these other amazing opportunities of traveling, all these other opportunities where you can go to that you wouldn't have so easily if you were at home. And that's a very cool thing about digital nomadism, and that's a thing I can highly recommend you to think about. When you think of going somewhere, look also for other options where else you can go. For example, if you are in Bangkok, it's super easy to jump on a flight and go to Taipei, Taiwan, or go on a weekend trip to Bali. It's affordable, it's doable, it's there. And that's a cool thing about being a digital nomad and spending longer time in places that otherwise you just pass through as a tourist. That's the thing number two. Third thing, related to work. You see, in order, look at this. If not for travel, I wouldn't know about this amazing Thai inhaler that's always with me, no matter in what country I am, and I'm always buying them in Thailand. I'm in Thailand right now. Third thing, work thing. If you succeed, if you are a digital nomad for some time, if you, more than, a year, if you are a digital nomad for more than a year, that then there's a high chance that you have also grown. Because in order to do this thing, traveling, moving around, and also working on maybe your business, it does require you to grow. And that's a very, very cool thing about being a digital nomad. Just by doing the things that are required to succeed in this lifestyle, you are improving yourself, you are leveling up yourself, and that's a third thing I love about this lifestyle. Adding something more, it does require a routine, it does require discipline to succeed. Don't take these things easily. In my opinion, that's the second most important thing to think about. If you want to go on for years and do it and enjoy it, you will have to build your system that works for you, your way of working, way of doing things, way of traveling. It's important, and it's also very, very rewarding as a result. When you see how much you have grown as a person after years of being a digital nomad. Thing number 4, prices, cost of living. There's a high chance that, especially if you are from Europe, from Western Europe, from America, from UK, Australia, from Latvia, that there are quite a few other countries where it is possible not only to live cheaper, there definitely are places where it's possible to live cheaper, but where it's possible to live cheaper, save money, have a better lifestyle. Yeah, I know, sounds like a fantasy, but this is true. This is true. There are places like that. For example, Thailand is one very good example. Go to Thailand for a few months and you'll save money while having a very good or better lifestyle than at home. That's a cool thing about being a digital nomad, that you are not attached, you're not tied to one place, that you can move around and look for places that you like better, where you feel better, where your money gives you more value. That's a cool thing about being a digital nomad. Now, the cons, the downsides of digital nomad lifestyle. Number 1, the most important thing, the thing that breaks quite a few people give up because of that, and it's the loneliness. It can be very, very lonely to be a digital nomad. And from my own experience, I would say, from these 10 plus years, and from all the other people's stories that I have heard, and also my own feelings and experiences, I would say that digital nomad lifestyle works better for introverts, for people who don't really need that much contact with other people. Yes, it is possible to make friends, it is possible to make like-minded people abroad. The digital nomad community is at its biggest right now. It's actually super easy, especially if you go to places that are popular among digital nomads like Thailand or Bali or Lisbon in Portugal or Mexico. It is easy to make acquaintances and friends and meet like-minded people, but there's a high chance that the lifestyle itself is gonna be too difficult for you, and you won't feel like going out and making these contacts. That's a very serious thing to consider. For example, you are in a new country, everything is new to you, and you have to figure out these everyday things. You have to find that, I don't know, grocery store that is the best for you, or that co-working space that you'll be working from, or fix the problem with your internet at your place, or find a gym. There is just quite a big chance that you will not feeling like making new connections, and you'll feel lonely as a result. If you are an introvert like myself, I can easily go on without meeting other people, and then when I meet them, it can be hard. For me, it's okay, it's easy. But the second thing, which is also related to this first thing, the loneliness, is that you're also missing out on everything or most of what's happening back home. If that's important to you, it's gonna be a very, very hard work to keep on working on these relationships. I remember reading a discussion, I think it was on Facebook, in the Every Passport Stamp Facebook group, the best Facebook group for most traveled people, I would say, the best Facebook group that I have been on. I know also the Digital Nomad group, the biggest one, I don't remember the exact name, Digital Nomad, whatever, amazing group also. But on that Every Passport Stamp, there was this discussion where a person was asking, how do you people who spend 6, 8, 10 months abroad every year. How do you keep the relationships at home? And I'll remind you, it's a group where are super well-traveled people who spend many months abroad every year and have been doing this for maybe decades. Most of them answered the same: we don't. This is a trade-off. If you want to be so much away, you lose on these relationships. And if you want to keep some of them, you're gonna need to work on them. It's gonna be a hard work for them to work. That's the first thing, the loneliness of digital nomad lifestyle. It's a very, very real thing. Second downside, related to traveling. Travel is amazing, but travel is also tiring. Travel can be boring. Things may not work out. You may book a place for a month, go there and realize that I better stayed home because this city sucks. Has happened to me a few times, and there's a chance that it will happen also to you. Or you book that place where they have a fast internet and you go there and turns out that yeah, it's fast, but it's 20 gigabytes a month. Has happened to me as well. These things happen, and you have to be prepared for that. That's why I always say, if you are just starting out, or if these are your first 2-3 years, don't rush. Don't try to visit 75 countries in a year. Don't do like me. I have visited some 20 in the past 1 year. 20 countries in a year. It's also way too fast. Travel slowly. Get to understand yourself and get to understand your needs and how to find places that you like, how to find accommodation that you like, how to find the co-workings and the gyms and things like that. Build on slowly. It's a safer way and easier way to do it successfully, and not just for a year or two, but for 10 plus years. Yes, travel can be hard. Third thing related to travel and work. Working while traveling is hard. Working is hard itself. And if you do it in an unfamiliar environment, unfamiliar place, from that, I don't know, Airbnb, where the internet sucks, working sucks, it's double as hard. And another thing to take into account is time zone. Sometimes you work in a different time zone and it works against you. It's a thing to consider. I, for example, like working with clients in Europe and while being in Thailand, because the time difference isn't big. Thailand is 4-5 hours ahead. That means I can easily start my day, finish everything, and then talk with my colleagues or clients, and it's only an early morning for them. That works amazing for me, but that's a thing that you should consider and should take into account. It's a downside. It's a thing that makes things harder. Traveling and working makes working harder. If you can, maybe you don't need to work. Only traveling is easier. That's the thing number 3. Thing number 4. I can't say that it's a downside. I'm gonna be talking about it now as a downside, but it's actually a challenge, a good challenge, a challenge that you will go through if you are going to go on for years, and it's that you will need to change in order to succeed, in order to make this thing work for years. In order to make this thing work for years in order to not just do it, not just travel and work, but also enjoy traveling, evolving, working, and just feeling great about it, loving it, being in a good shape, being in a good health. You will need to change for that. I talked about it already at the very beginning, that you need a discipline, you need a routine, and these are things that you will need to go through. It's hard. It can be very hard. It can be super hard if when you are just starting out and don't really understand yourself and don't really know like at what pace should I be traveling. Should I go to a new country now? Should I go on that day trip? Or should I finish the work? You will need to understand that. You will need to understand yourself. What works for you the best when it comes to doing work? What kind of places, cities you feel the best when you want to work? What kind of places and cities you feel the best for your everyday life? What kind of traveling pace is the best for you? Like I said, in the past 12 months I have been to 20 countries. I highly recommend against it if you are just starting out. It's super hard. It's hard also when you have a good routine. I did it, I felt good, I had good travel impressions, I did good work all the while, but it's hard. At first, start with 3, 4, 5 countries a year and you'll be absolutely fine. It's actually not boring for most of people. It's not boring to go to some place and spend a month or two. Just go to places that you feel like you will like, or you know that you will like. Maybe you have been to Thailand on a holiday, you enjoyed it. Now go for 2 months. There is a high chance that you will like it. You don't need to listen to others who are back home and talking like, again Thailand, why Thailand? Go to a new country, go to Africa. Just go and do the things that you feel like they are your things. You will feel way better than trying to please the others. So it's not really a downside. You will grow. You will need to grow. That's the thing number 4. And the best thing is that you will get to enjoy all the beauty of digital nomad lifestyle as well. Seeing all the places, experiencing all these new things, trying all these new foods, getting to know some places really well and feeling very much at home there. That's a very cool thing, and if you are thinking that a digital nomad lifestyle could be a thing for you, I can highly recommend to try it out. Don't be put off by the fact that you may want to quit. It's fine. You try. If you don't like it, don't do it. But if you never try, you never know. That's it for today. See you next week. Bye.